Hello everybody, you have tuned in to Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover virtually any aspect of making a murderer. I go over the evidence, the documents, the photos. So if you like, stay tuned, and in the future I'll have many more videos besides the one you're about to see. Hello folks, how are you today? I was reading something today, and if you know me, I kind of tend to, filter things when I, thinking about Brendan, because I don't know if you've noticed on my channel, but when it came to making a murderer, what got me in to start looking deeper than just watching the documentary, like so many guilters will try to accuse me of, which is funny. I went beyond that documentary and I looked deeper and got into the court documents and started reading and studying, because I felt that Brendan was screwed. It wasn't so much in the beginning because I felt Stephen had been screwed, although I didn't like a lot of the things that I saw about the case. But in the beginning, I wasn't nearly as drawn in by Stephen's plight as I was by Brendan's. I was so sure that he was screwed by the system, that he was bullied, and it was just it stuck with me. I couldn't just casually just let it go and move on without thinking about the fact that this 16-year-old kid, when he was just a young kid, at that point where he was discovering girls, feeling all the angst and the unsure feelings of talking to girls and stuff. He'd already been rejected once, and he had all these things going on in his life, after this rejection and stuff, and the investigators come along bullying him into a confession, talking about what's wrong with you. He's a normal teenager. Lots of teenagers at that age are brooding, and they're trying to figure it out. So what I saw today disturbed me, because as you know, here on my channel I talk about Brendan's case often, a lot, and anybody who's been following it knows that right now federal judges have granted Brendan his habeas relief twice. It is now going through a third review right now, but it was granted twice by federal judges. Federal judges are there to help keep the whole entire justice system honest, to keep the system from, they're basically there to help prevent grievous miscarriages of justice with these habeas cases and stuff like that. It's part of what they do, and it's an important function. So the thing about that is what I read today disturbed me greatly, because when I thought about this particular appointment that I read about, I just thought, whoa, what if we had an on-bank review full of judges like this? And you'll see what I mean here in a minute. One thing I want to say before I get into the article, the part of the article here that I'm going to show you, is this particular video is not meant to be political. This is about criminal justice, and that's what this video is about. So even though you're going to see some names in the article here, for me, the only name that you should be worried about in this article is the Senate Judiciary Committee. That is the name, the one name in this piece of the article that I'm going to show you right now. That's the one name that should stick with you as we come back to talk about this again. So this is about the Senate Judiciary Committee, basically approving somebody no matter how unqualified they were. On a party line vote, the panel said this past week that Brett J. Talley should have a lifetime appointment to the federal bench in Alabama, reports the Los Angeles Times. It apparently made no difference to the Republicans on the panel that Talley, 36, never tried a single case and has been a lawyer for only 3 years. What qualifies him for the job? Maybe several incendiary blog posts in which he denounced Hillary Rotten Clinton. Now, I'm not criticizing the guy about his views on Hillary Clinton, but my issue here is this guy ready for a federal judgeship? That's my question. Okay, so this is Mr. Brett Talley we're looking at here, the nominee that was approved by the Senate committee. And now we're going to read a little bit. This is from the New York Times, by the way. A 36-year-old lawyer who has never tried a case and who was unanimously deemed not qualified by the American Bar Association has been approved for a lifetime federal district judgeship by the Senate Judiciary Committee. The lawyer, Brett Talley, is the fourth judicial nominee under President Trump to receive a not qualified rating from the Bar Association, and the second to receive that rating unanimously since 1989. The association has unanimously rated only 2 other judicial nominees as not qualified. So that kind of tells you how extraordinary it is. So what I'm going to show you right now is the actual document from the Bar Association that shows where they deemed him not qualified. Okay, so here we are. You see his name there, folks. His name, Brett Joseph Talley. And then if you look over at the other side there, NQ, not qualified. That's what that means. You can obviously see up there, there's the Q. The Q means qualified, because Fernando Rodriguez was qualified. Okay, so my main issue here is that we may be putting completely unqualified people into permanent judgeships that really have no interest being there. That really, I mean, if you think about it for a second, obviously this is somebody that Trump put up for what would seem like obvious reasons, and obviously the Republican, members of the Judiciary Committee, approved this guy, based on the fact that I guess he's so vocal about Hillary Rotten Clinton, which is fine. It's his opinion. He's entitled to it. But the problem here is that he's not qualified. Here's why that's an issue to me. Imagine the judges on Brendan's panel for the on-bank review, or even before that on the 3-judge panel, or before that even just Duffin on his own. Imagine that those judges never ever argued anything in a courtroom, never, went through the litigation process. That basically they went to school and made an internet page and started talking about, Hillary Rotten Clinton and being pro-gun, about, or pro-guns and against gun control. And that's basically what you've done. No time in court. So this is the question I'm asking, because if we had judges like that deciding Brendan's fate right now, even when they come back with, if they affirm the decision they come back with, if they're not very well versed in the law so that they write a very, very intelligent and well-informed opinion, then it can just easily get toppled and overturned later. Having judges like this guy, Talley, to me is a concern. How do you put somebody in that type of a position, a lifetime position, where they're going to be deciding important cases, in that pertain to their area, where they're a judge, and they have no practical experience as a lawyer or even with the litigation process, really. We already know that the criminal justice system is already having some problems. It's already kind of, got some imperfections that really need to be looked at and worked on. And this is something that doesn't need to be added to the problem. The guy was deemed not qualified by the American Bar Association. He's the third one since 1979 or 1980. He's the third nominee that's been put up that they have deemed not qualified. That's a very unique, I say honor, but it's not really an honor, is it? But, well, doesn't seem to have affected him at all. He's still going to be a federal judge, a lifetime appointment. So, if you're out there and you care about Brendan Dassey, and I know there's a lot of you, I just thought I'd bring this up so that you could think about this the same way I'm thinking about this. Could you imagine if our, court system and our courts were flooded with judges of the caliber that this guy is, and what it would potentially mean for the future Brendan Dasseys of the world? So that's about it. Just thought this was concerning, especially in the light of the fact that Brendan Dassey is, has his fate in the hands of federal judges, just like this guy's going to be. So, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.